The Pechanga band of Indians has called the Temecula Valley home for more than 10,000 years. Life on Earth began in this valley at Temecula, the birthplace of the Kamalam first children. Temecula was the place where the world as we know it came to be. Events that took place here determined how some people became plants and animals, how people dealt with sickness and death, why some things could be eaten yet others could not, and all the other details of life in native California. Pre-contact 10,000 plus years ago, groups of people now known as Indians have inhabited the Temecula Valley for thousands of years. We call ourselves Pechanga, the people of the West, and we are made up of 7 bands: Pechanga, Palma, Pala, Rincon, San Luis Rey, La Jolla, and Saboba. Evidence of our presence before the arrival of Europeans survives throughout the valley. Bedrock mortar, stone tools, pottery, and rock art are still found in Riverside and San Diego counties. These artifacts prove that we have a long history and a rich culture that existed before the arrival of the Spanish missionaries. Through periods of plenty, scarcity, and adversity, we have governed ourselves and cared for our lands. Over millennia, we came to understand the importance of natural cycles and learned how to manage our resources. We developed a variety of technologies, such as stone tool manufacture, basket weaving, and pottery making, and our surplus goods were distributed along Southern California's extensive trade routes. Our society was organized to ensure that everyone had food and shelter, and everyone was raised to know what was expected of him or her. The stories of how the world was created have been passed down for generations, and these stories contain rules for proper behavior and the consequences of breaking those rules. Before the arrival of Europeans, the Pechanga understood their place in their world. Post-contact 1797. The invasion of Spanish missionaries and each successive group of non-natives to the Temecula Valley had a devastating effect on the Pechanga, but we have survived every challenge. Generation after generation, we have grown and adapted to meet changing times and conditions. This land is witness to our story. The missionaries' 1797 to 1834 history Europeans first arrived in the Temecula Valley in 1797. Father Juan Norberto de Santiago, a Franciscan priest, records passing through the Temecula Valley during an exploratory journey to identify possible sites for future missions. In 1798, the Spanish missionaries established Mission San Luis Rey de Francia within the borders of Luceco ancestral territory. The Pechanga began to be called San Lucicos and later just Lucicos. Life in the mission was hard for the Pechanga. Our ancestors were fed European foods that were not as nutritious as the fresh native foods they had eaten before. The poor diet, combined with new diseases like smallpox, measles, and influenza,